Meeting law governs March 15th, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place. This meeting of the West Newbury Conservation Commission will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and or parties of the right and a requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the town website at www.westnewbury.org. Members of the public who wish to listen to or watch the meeting may do so by Zoom participation. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted. Every effort will be made to ensure the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time. In the event we're unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the Town of West Newbury website an audio or video recording transcript or other records of the proceedings as soon as practicable after the meeting. Okay. All of the public hearings have been continued at the request of the applicant. So first on the agenda is a discussion for the request for a certificate of compliance at 117 Indian Hill Street.
So I met Maggie Brown from Essex County Greenbelt out there last week. They did not do any of the work. None of the work that was covered under the order started, so they haven't done anything out there.
What was the proposed work?
Construction was a driveway, wetland crossing, house, but it's nothing's been done.
Okay. I move we issue a certificate of compliance for 117 Indian Hill Street on the ground that the work has that no work has been done under the order.
Second.
Any further discussion?
I'm sorry, Judy, just because the mask. So you said that we do not issue a certificate, correct?
No, we do, because on the basis that no work has been done under the order.
That they never did anything. Okay, got it. Sorry. Okay, now clear. Thank you.
Is this associated with the conservation area? I'm not clear on what the work was.
So the order of conditions was issued to Essex County Greenbelt doesn't currently own the property. They're looking to buy it. So I have a letter here from the owner of the property too, basically allowing them to request a certificate of compliance. So Greenbelt's looking to purchase the property, and this is open order of conditions.
Oh, I see.
They're trying to close that out.
I see.
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you, Bert.
Molly? We're gonna
Aye.
vote.
Aye.
Wendy?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Vaughn?
Aye.
Judy, aye. Next on the agenda is a request for a certificate of compliance at 25 Coffin Street.
Let me pull this. So this was the order of conditions plan. I was out here as well. Part of the conditions were to have a no disturb zone in place with posts and placards. Those were not in place when I went out. They are in place now. And the other part of this order was removal of invasive species with the revegetation plan. And based on what I saw, I didn't see any of the plants that were part of the revegetation plan there. The homeowner said that most of them died. They did purchase them. They did provide a receipt from when they purchased them back in 2016. But outside of that, I thought everything looked okay.
I would also note that the as-built does not show the location of the posts. And there is no single as-built. What there is an as-built from the building department and an as-built from the Board of Health. One shows grading, one doesn't. But neither of them show the location of the posts.
Judy, where's this house? I can't tell from this. Which house is this on Coffin Street?
25?
It's basically right across from the big Coffin Street lot. The
Okay. Okay.
What is that shaded in green area?
That's the natural vegetation area.
Okay.
This is not an as-built.
This is the plan from the notice of intent order conditions. This is the as-built from the Board of Health. It's a septic as-built. There's also a building department as-built that I didn't have scanned. But that one, the building department doesn't show the wetland flags. So
And this one doesn't show grading.
So can't we have at least the post put on this?
I would think, and I'd also think that we'd need to have the plantings redone. I mean, the plants were purchased in 2016. There's been certainly sufficient time to redo it if they died.
So that was a condition that they had to install the plants?
Yes. It's their proposal, I believe.
Are they selling this house? Is that why they need this?
yes,
Is it like, do they need it right away?
I'm not 100% sure about that.
The order says that a revegetation and invasive removal plan shall be submitted by October 17th, 2016, and approved by the Commission before any work is done in the natural vegetation area. Approved revegetation and invasive removal shall commence as soon as weather permits. They did submit a plan, and it calls for it lists the invasive plants that have been identified and how they're going to be removed. It then calls for the planting of a minimum of 4 saplings and 20 shrubs from a list will be planted within the invasive control no disturb zone area. Plants shall be located in order to provide for a consistently vegetated buffer area, although spacing should be somewhat random to mimic a natural buffer area. And it lists red maple, black willow, pussy willow, winterberry, holly, spicebush, highbush blueberry, black cherry, red oak, witch hazel, viburnum, silky dogwood, red osier dogwood, alternate leaf dogwood. And apparently, Bert said that he did not see any of those.
So we had, can you hear me?
Yes.
We had gone in, I sent him the list of all the plants we had purchased. We went through, we put them in 2016. We're supposed to sign a purchase and sale tomorrow. We had pushed it out for this meeting. I'm hoping that we could, showing that we had at least bought them. My husband and I went through, we put them all in, that we could meet that criteria. We had put the posts when Bert showed us where to do it, but we're not able to get more plants right now. If you wanted them in, we wouldn't be able to do that for months.
So is this a condition that we could have the new homeowner satisfy? I mean, I don't know how that would work.
I'm hoping that we wouldn't have to. That's basically just trying to drop a can of worms that wasn't closed. I don't know if that's something that they're expected to keep planting every year.
Well, those are perennials that they need.
Yeah.
You know, that would be a one-time planting.
Right, but things don't grow really well in our property at all. It's clay.
Well, then maybe you need to do some adjustment to the soil. But I mean, that was a condition, and it has not been complied with because there's nothing growing there. So we really sign off and say, you're done, it's done.
Well, I mean, Bert couldn't see the trees, and that I understand because none of the trees took, but it's hard to say what else is there. Does that make sense? I mean, we have a foot of snow.
There was a good amount of snow right there.
Well, but we still can't certify that it's in compliance when we can't tell whether it is or not.
Okay, so that stays open until,
Well, I mean, we could issue a partial certificate of compliance, but that would require, that would impose on, if you're signing a purchase and sale tomorrow, it would impose on the new owner of the property the obligation to purchase and plant unless you made some arrangement with it. And because the order of conditions goes with the property, not with the person.
no, I understand. Okay, so you would require, if they went on board with that, that they had to replant 25 from the list?
They would have to comply with the planting, with the plan that was submitted and approved by Hughes Environmental, which called for 4 saplings and 20 shrubs, a minimum of 4 saplings and 20 shrubs to be planted.
And then they would have you come out and see that they were planted?
Yes.
Well, that they're growing, yeah.
Cassandra, do you have any idea if any of them took?
I know some did. I know we have one of the trees definitely took, and all the shrubs did. It's the trees don't do well here.
All right, so you think all the shrubs took and 1 tree? Is
The
that
shrubs all thrive. They do best.
Okay.
The trees don't. You know, we couldn't get anything even closer to the water areas. We couldn't get like a we tried to plant a willow. Nothing takes. They all die.
Is it because it's
It's clay. You know, they have a really hard time.
well, we have clay all over town. I'm
No, I
wondering-
know. We don't.
Yeah.
Nothing does really well.
Is it real wet there or what's the story? Where you the
It's-
ones that didn't take?
Most of it it's wet. I mean, we had the
Yeah.
first year we had it, it was probably inches of water all season.
Okay. So that might be it too.
Well, I mean, and if the shrubs did take,
They're well, yeah.
then, they wouldn't have to be replanted because they're there. It's just
Right.
that,
No, I'm just I don't want to burden a buyer with saying you have to comply with this whenever, the snow thaws and you can see growings. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It makes sense. I understand your point of view, but that's a requirement to
Yeah.
of the
No,
sort of
I know. We
conditions.
just had
Yeah.
no idea that it wasn't done. We had the work done, the building inspector signs off on the garage, and then it never came back up until 4-5 years later when they realized that it had never been closed.
Yeah, that happens on many properties. It's a
I
common
heard.
problem. Yeah.
Okay, can we do a partial compliance and then we'll ask them about the plantings?
Yeah. Did you do the invasive removal work?
We did the invasives, we have the posts, and we'll just ask them if they can be okay with that.
Well, it will be a requirement.
Right,
Yeah.
it would be a matter of if anyone will sign a purchase and sale having
Okay. Yeah.
an order open.
So you have the posts, but they're not in the ground? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
no, we had them, and so they're in now, we have the placards on them.
Okay.
it's just that they're not located on either of the asphalt.
Yeah, what I'm thinking that the new buyer would want to see is if they're obligated to put these shrubs in, that they're going to ask for some type of escrow to be withheld. For them to, some of the monies would be taken from that escrow to plant new plants, and then once the plants are established, any remaining funds would come back to you. So you might have to be stuck with some money, withheld for a period of time. But I don't see why that would impact the buyer longer term just because of 20 shrubs.
Hopefully.
Yeah, and I do think we need the plan to be redone as well, to show the posts and,
Or perhaps just to have the post put on one of the existing ones.
well, is either one of these adequate for our purposes? I mean, neither one is for the,
Now, if you take them together, one has the grading on it, and one has the wetlands delineation on it.
did the same engineering firm do both plans?
Yes, but these are the posts that are shown on it, aren't they?
No, those are the wetland flags.
Those are the flags, those are not the posts.
So it doesn't seem like it would be much effort for the engineer to combine these two so we could have the grading and the wetland markers and the posts on the same plan. Otherwise, 10 years from now, we're going to dig this out and, not be able to figure out, how to read the final as-built.
I don't have screen access. Is this the plan from Hughes or this is the plan from Steve Sawyer?
The as-built plans are prepared by DEC. And one of them is an as-built plan for the building, and the other is the septic system as-built plan.
Okay. So you
And,
want the two combined to show the grading and the posts?
right.
We need an as-built for the order of conditions for the Conservation Commission. So typically that's a separate as-built that the engineer will prepare that, that does include the grading and the wetland flags and whatever other things that you were required to do under the order. So
basically, what you would generally do is take the plan that you submitted with the notice of intent, which shows the wetlands, shows the grading, and shows the work, and then just have them confirm that the work that the work was done, that that the site plan reflects the work that was done, and if there are changes, they can even mark it on there in red. That plan is also prepared by Winter GEC. So I think it would be easier for them to take the plan that you submitted for the notice of intent. They've got the data for the as-builts that they did, and just to confirm that that data complies, is what is shown on the plan that was submitted, the approved plan submitted with the notice of intent, adding the location of the post, and that would be an appropriate as-built.
Okay. The squiggle line with the little X's, those are where the posts were supposed to be, correct? The straight line was the flags?
The
squiggle line, I think, is the wetland line. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, but there's the little X's where we have our posts.
That's the wetland line.
Right, so you go south of that a little, there's like a little line.
Is
Yeah,
that
right there.
erosion
And
control?
those are the posts.
there are like stars along the edge of the part of the green shaded area closest to your garage. There are markers shown on there. There's like one at the closest to Coffin Street. There's one
Right.
at the end of that.
Are those them?
You see them? Right there.
Yeah,
Are those, Cassandra, are those the posts?
that's where we have the post, but I just,
So that just needs to be confirmed that that's in
Okay.
fact where they are.
I just need to find the designer.
I can put that information off from these plans, who prepared them. I can put that all in an email and send it to you.
Okay, no, I know who it is. It just,
Okay.
it took us about 2 years to get him. To actually give us the copy, so I just,
Oh.
Okay,
They should be labeled as well, that those are markers. This is too small for me to see if they are labeled anywhere, but
okay.
Bert, I think it would be helpful for you to summarize this for Cassandra.
Yep.
Just
Yeah, I can do that.
Is there a koi pond back there?
There was when we first bought the house.
Okay, I was gonna say, we went on a site walk here once, didn't we?
Yes.
And there was a koi, okay, yeah, all right, so that's not there.
No, we had a great blue herring ate all our fish.
it's not funny, John.
Okay, I can do that. Thank you. If you can email it to me, I'll get him to sign off on that.
So what do we do so that we don't end up in the same position that we have before, where the new owner says that they didn't understand that they had to do all this stuff? I mean, I don't want to create the same situation. Is there a way that we can make sure that they have been notified and are aware of this?
Can we do a quick note or something that she can take to the closing?
I would
Something in
hope.
writing?
I would hope that the buyer has an attorney representing them. Their attorney would see that there's a partial certificate of compliance if we approve one this evening, and that the attorney would then ask what's remaining to get a full certificate of compliance, and they would advise their clients accordingly. We know that in the past that didn't necessarily happen, but I don't think we can do much other than that.
Is that when the escrow would be negotiated?
That's when they should be negotiating the escrow. So I would assume that they would then go out and say how much would it take to buy the plants or even have someone install them, and they would be looking to have a certain amount of money put aside, and then once those items are all put in and the full certificate of compliance is completed, then any remaining funds would be returned to the seller.
So there's no mechanism for the Conservation Commission to make sure that that the buyer's attorney realizes this?
No,
Nope, I don't believe so. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, we could, I suppose,
This is not a reflection on you, Cassandra. It's just that we've had other people who are the buyers say, oh, I didn't know I had to do this. And then we have to fight with them to make sure it gets done. So,
I understand.
yeah.
A lot of times it's because their attorney didn't do the dotting of the I's, crossing of the T's, or some people are just not hiring an attorney to represent them through the process, and to save a few bucks, it comes back to bite them later on. And I think Cassandra has also an obligation to, as a seller, to disclose all facts about the property, right? That's part of the process as well.
Mm-hmm. Are you working with an attorney, Cassandra?
We do have one, yes.
Yeah.
you know, whether your, the Does your buyer have one?
They do as well.
Yeah, I just think it would be, best for you to be upfront with them and just let them know that this is outstanding and
They
handle it
can see it.
accordingly.
It
Yeah,
pulls up
yeah.
when you pull the house, the order of compliance.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
they already identified it. That's why you're probably seeing us this evening. Right, so.
And you
Alright.
have the information from when you bought the plants, right? So it's,
Yeah, no, I sent that to Bert. I had all the plants. I had to call the nursery. They sent it over to me, luckily.
I mean, that might be helpful for the buyer to see sort of what their
And yeah,
obligations are.
and make sure you tell them that the shrubs are predominantly there. It's just the trees that did not.
The stipulation is the trees have to take.
Yeah.
It's 4 red maples and then 20 shrubs.
So Judy, what would the language of the motion be then?
I move that we issue a partial certificate of compliance, certifying that the construction of the garage and the relocation of the septic tank and box and paving of the existing driveway have been completed. But that conditions sorry, I have to find it. That special condition number 4 requiring the revegetation and invasive removal plan submitted in compliance with, submitted pursuant to that condition. That the work, that the plantings required have not been, we are not issuing a certificate of compliance as to that, as to the revegetation. And we also are, and we also require the submission of an as-built showing the location of the 6 permanent markers required by special condition number 5.
Second.
Any further discussion? Molly?
Yeah.
Tom?
Hi.
John?
Aye.
Lindsay?
Aye.
Judy? Aye.
So Bert, will you be able to get her that email for tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll get that to you tomorrow morning, Sandra.
Perfect. Thank you very much for your time.
That might be helpful to have the email for discussions with the buyer. I don't know, just so they're aware of what's needed. Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Next on the agenda is discussion wetlands protection bylaw. And there was an email from Angus saying that the board of selectmen would like to invite a presentation of the proposed bylaw at one of their future meetings. This is Adam.
Didn't they give us a specific meeting that they would like?
On the initial item on the March 15th BOS agenda, I was just wondering who Adam was. He just showed up.
Oh, Adam, that's the young man that's taping our meetings.
Angus's email says, I know this is the same day as the regularly scheduled Concom meeting, so this would only work if the presentation and related discussion could be complete prior to your regular meeting at 7:30 that evening. If your schedule is allowed an earlier start, I could also see about asking the Board of Selectmen to open that meeting at 6:45, not 7. The board is interested in having the bylaw presented at a televised public meeting to improve their understanding and public understanding of the proposal. That's the same night that we are having our public hearing, is it not?
It is.
Yeah, couldn't they just come to our public hearing on the bylaw?
Why don't you have
Yeah,
some
no, he probably doesn't know we're having a public hearing, so I don't know about that.
Why don't you fill him in, Bert, and see if he can do that?
Yep.
I guess we have to decide tonight though, right?
Well,
Could we not just go down there first and present it and then come back up for the public meeting, or is
Well, it seems kind of repetitive.
the warm up?
I don't think so.
I mean, it seems to me that if they are aware that we've already scheduled a public hearing, then perhaps they would be willing to attend ours. We could at least find out.
Yeah, I think it's a reasonable ask. So if that doesn't work, can people do 6:45? I mean, we can't be late for our meeting, obviously.
And I mean, I don't know whether I can make 6:45 or not.
I work from home on Mondays, so that's fine.
Yeah, I can be there early needed.
I can say that I can do it and just hope for the best.
Right, so if they do not wish, if they don't think that our public hearing is sufficient, then whoever can go will go.
It just seems kind of important that you're there, Judy, since you drafted it.
Well,
Well, I just can't guarantee that I'm gonna be back here like 6:45.
No, I understand that. So I'm wondering if there's an alternate way if they don't want to piggyback on the public hearing.
if we're online, can you do it from Boston?
We should probably be en route back for the meeting, for our meeting.
Right, you can't be in both places at once.
Yeah.
There's been no traffic.
No, it's fairly quick. I mean, I might be able to make it. I just can't guarantee. The thing, I never know. You never know when something is going to come up. But I can try to keep that open.
Okay.
Any other business? Review of minutes. If people had an opportunity to review the minutes from January 25th.
Yes.
The center around. Anyone have any additional changes? I move that we accept the minutes of January 25th as amended.
Second.
Any further discussion? Dawn?
Aye.
Molly?
Aye.
Andy?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Judy? Aye. People had an opportunity to review the minutes of February 8th. I
Second.
got the wrong date.
Yeah, I move to approve, sorry.
Second.
Do I have the right date? Is it the 8th?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, February 8th.
Ah,
Yep.
okay. I'm sorry, do you have a motion in a second?
Yeah, I moved.
Yes.
Okay. Any further discussion? So this is a motion to approve the February 8th minutes as amended. Molly,
Aye.
Dawn,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
Andy,
Aye.
Judy, aye. People had an opportunity to review the minutes of February 22nd.
Yes.
I move we accept the minutes of February 22nd as amended.
Second.
Second.
Any further discussion? Tom?
Aye.
Dawn?
Aye.
Molly?
Aye.
Andy?
Aye.
Judy, aye. All right. That completes our agenda.
Hi, this is Elisa. I just wanted to let you know that I did not know about the earlier executive meeting, and I missed it. I didn't see Bert's email until 7:30. So,
I can send you a recording of it.
oh, great, thank you, wonderful. And I'm wondering, I don't know, maybe you've already done this, but are you going to put your proposed bylaw on your website? And do you want help doing that? I'd be happy to. And do you want to, put it on an email blast or anything like that? I'll just leave that for you all to decide, but I'd be happy to help with any of that.
Yeah, so maybe the summary that Molly did could go on the email blast, and then we could put the actual bylaw itself on our website.
That's,
People get the revised, I think Bert sent out a revision.
Yeah, I think it sounds great.
Okay. Because I did a revision of the revision that he sent out.
I saw whatever he sent out last.
Okay.
yeah.
So that includes your revisions, Judy?
I believe so. I will double check and I'll take out the redlining part so it just reads like a document.
Okay.
So as far as timing, if a public hearing is the 15th, when do you think we should ask Angus to send out the email blast with the executive summary referencing the website?
Week before? So it's close enough so people don't forget?
Yeah, okay.
That sound right?
Yeah. So, so who would take care of that?
Who sends out these emails?
Angus sends it out, or
Jenny,
Didn't Elise should help with that?
I will help you do it. I've
Yeah.
done all of these things before. If you send me the final version of the draft bylaw, I will put it onto your website and I will give you the link for it. And I'll do that whenever you want. And then I'd be happy to ask Jenny to do the email blast as well. But just let me know pretty precisely what you want and I'll do it.
great,
Okay.
thank you.
Thanks.
I will send you the draft bylaw and the executive summary.
Okay. And what I'll do is I'll put it on the website. Nobody looks at the website unless you tell them to. You all can, review it and whatnot and make any changes before the email blast goes out, getting attention about it.
Yeah, I think we should reference the bylaw on the website and also the public hearing happening, the following Monday. So you're saying you would send that out before you give it to Jenny so that we can look at it?
Yes, what
Okay.
I would do would be, I would put it onto the website. It's too hard to do a draft any other way.
Yeah.
And ask you all to look at it, make sure it's what you want. And then, after that, we get Jenny to do an email blast, which will draw, views of the website.
Great.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks. Is there anything else?
Nope.
How about a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.